How y'all doing? This Perchman R&B, and this is another Arrow Reviews Thursday. This week is Season 4, Episode 11. And what happened on this week's episode is, we get the flashback scenes is flashbacking to Diggle and Andy while they're in Iraq, and they meet up with this organization called Shadowspire. And it's all French of the military. And what's really going on is, they're crooked, and they're selling stuff from Iraq to black market. And Andy gets in with them, and this is how Andy starts his path of being off and doing the stuff that gets him invading the dark sites to begin with, become a ghost. And this is what makes him get fake killed by Deadshot, and this is what sets up his arc in Arrow. And we can get some backstory on that. The reason Andy's joined the military is because he got caught doing some illegal stuff, and John told him to list the military. And the deal was, if Andy got in the military and did good, that John would start treating him as a brother instead of a friend. And this is what happens, and then we find out that he joins over Shadowspire and is helping Shadowspire sell these goods to the black market, and is still doing wrong. Well, in present day, Shadowspire comes back and they go after Argus. And they make it look like they're going after these air guns that shoot electrical bolts of lightning. And Core Industry makes these rail guns. So Team Arrow's staking out the trucks that had the rail guns, and like Andy said, it was a distraction because Shadowspire's real target was Argus and the program that Argus had. And the head of Shadowspire tells Amanda Waller that he's going to kill one person every 20 minutes, and he kills a person, and 20 minutes comes up, and she says she's not going to give it up. And Lila tells him to ask Lila, her most trusted operative, and Lila says that's why she left, because Amanda Waller don't care nothing about human life and will do anything that keeps the secrets that she got. So the head of Shadowspire shoots Amanda Waller in the head, and Amanda Waller's pretty much dead in the DC comic book TV universe of the CW. And the reason they probably did this to Suicide Squad's coming out, and they didn't want to continue the Suicide Squad storyline. Well, after this, Diggle and Andy make up a ruse where Andy talks to the head of Shadowspire and is going to give up Diggle, and Andy and Diggle and Team Arrow all attack Shadowspire and stop them, and Andy knocks out the head of Shadowspire. And then the flashback scenes, we find out that the man that's on Lee and you right now in all of his flashback scenes is the head of Shadowspire. So the people who all of us dealing with in the flashback is Shadowspire. And we found that out this episode. And at the end of the episode, Andy gets to meet his niece, and Andy tells John he's not ready to reconnect with his wife and son yet. And John said that could come in time. My question for y'all is, do y'all think Andy's going in a straight and narrow, and maybe in the future he could become a part of Team Arrow, or you think he's just going to go back to being a bad guy for a bigger fish? As always, Perchman R&B signing out, guys. Jesus, awesome. See y'all next time.